Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video over on PrizePicks. I got my 4 favorite plays for you today. We got Tuesday. We got a lot of stuff going on. I got an esports pick for you. I got a WNBA pick for you. And I got 2 NHL picks for you because it's game 4 now. We've got to be locked in. Now, before we're going to do it, drop a like on this one. Takes 2 seconds, completely free. So go ahead and do that. And by the way, guys, we're doing like goals now. If you get 20 likes, you get 1 bonus pick in the next video. 40 likes equals 2 bonus picks. And if you guys get to 60 likes, everybody on this video gets free VIP plays. So hit that like button, man. Just lock in. Now, let's talk about the recap from the day before. By the way, this is one thing you will always see me doing: win, loss, draw without fail. I'm going to go on here and I'm going to recap our picks. Whether we win, whether we lose, I don't care. The one thing I care about is being transparent. And that is what I will always do on this channel. So talking about the free picks first, we sent out a Waking Cash that was actually very unlucky. Senka was one of the only guys on his team to go on the under. And here he misses by just 1. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, guys. We smacked the Viper one, we smacked the Marquise one. And these are 5 to 6x plays, meaning that we don't need to hit every single one. We actually don't even need to hit every other one or even every other third one. If we just hit around 1 in every 4 or 1 in every 5, we will make money. So I'm not too pressed about a loss here, although it does hurt to lose by just 1 like this. On the YouTube videos, it was not very good. Slacks and Lake here, the reason why they went on the over is because M80 actually forced an overtime in the second map. And if it was a not close game like we projected, if Legacy actually locked in and played like the true favorite, which they were projected before the game, this would have been an easy under. Jalen Brunson didn't take as many shots as I thought, and Landry Shamet was literally 1 3-pointer away from cashing our underdog slip. But at the end of the day, guys, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now let's talk about our VIP stuff right here. Because one thing, by the way, I want to say, I'm going to tell you guys, I love, absolutely love recapping losing days and talking about losing days. Of course, we like winning days and it's super hype and everybody is talking about how great these strategies are. But I love talking about losing days because I can really show you guys how strong this strategy is when it comes to a losing day. So right here, we sent out only 4 picks on PrizePicks, 4 slips, and they all 4 lost. And it's a -4 day. And there's a couple people in the VIP chat saying, oh my God, this strategy ain't for me. This strategy ain't working. But I told you guys, you got to be disciplined. Let's talk about what happened here. We sent out 4 plays, and all of our plays basically on the VIP, almost all of them, at least in the PrizePicks tab, are very, very similar strategies. We're going to take a 4-man that is correlated. So what is a correlated 4-man? Let's look at this one right here. We're taking 2 guys on the same team to go on the under. And we're basically saying if this team has a bad game or if this team has a really short game, they will likely push on the under together, right? And that's exactly what happened. Look how closely these guys' lines were. They're very correlated, meaning if this guy went way over, this guy will probably also go way over. If this guy goes way under, this guy will probably also go way under. In this case, Big Azera got around 24 and Safi got around 26. They both missed their line by literally 3. It was perfect correlation with the under of both of them. And then here for Sop and Yet, we take these 2 guys on the under. We think this is going to be a shorter game, but actually I can show you guys what happened in this one. It was not a shorter game. This one, Vitality versus FUT, in map number 1, it goes very long, 13 to 11. And in map number 2, this is a little bit of a shorter game, 13 to 4. But in this case, Yeta has 14 and Sop has 16. So actually, the 2 guys that we took on the under, had pretty good games, right? But we expected this one to be a very, very short game, right? Instead, one of those went into overtime, and that's why both of these guys pushed on the over. Or well, not overtime, 13 to 11. That's why these guys pushed on the over. By the way, guys, PrizePicks is paying us out as if it's a 4-man. They're paying us around 8.5 to a 9.5x, and we are taking these plays, but we're only betting them as a 2-man. Notice this. This is perfect correlation. They went green together. This is basically leg 1 of the 2-man, and then this is basically leg 2 of the 2-man. We take this one team to do bad. We take this one team to do bad. In this case, the top team did bad, but the bottom team actually did pretty well, and they went on the overs. Now here, perfect correlation right here. Actually elite. Like, these guys didn't even come close to their lines because they're on a team together. They're going to push on the under together, right? It's similar to taking a Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, right? If I think Joe Burrow is going to have 200 or less passing yards, then I'm pretty confident Jamar Chase is going to have less than his 80 receiving yards, right? When one player on the Bengals goes on the under for the passing props, the other player will probably go on the under for the receiving props because those two players are correlated, right? It's the same thing here. We expected this to be a long game, and guys, look at that. Another loss here. Actually, a very similar loss. We took him over 12 headshots, and he only gets 11. That seems very similar. Here we took Senko over 12 headshots and only got 11. At the end of the day, guys, we're going to lose by close ones, but it is what it is. And it is what it is. Here, we lost all 4 picks, but I still love this slip. I think this is a perfect example of our correlation. We lost every single one. But guys, I don't see this as a 0 out of 4. I see this as a 0 out of 2 because we're taking them as a 2-leg play. And what I love to see is that these guys are correlating together, meaning they're both going to hit the over together or they're both going to hit the under together. In this case, we projected they would all hit the under, right? We projected Rain and Gizmi would go together, hit the under. And we projected the M80 guys would go on the under together. Instead, none of that happened, right? These guys push on the over together. These guys push on the over together, right? They're still super correlated plays. Now, this is the only one that was actually uncorrelated, right? Berzine has a great game and Klim has a bad game, which is pretty uncharacteristic, right? Klim is one of the best players on the team, but it is what it is, guys. This was actually one guy that messed up this slip. And I just want to show you guys what it looks like when we actually have a great day, because you look at this and you go, wow, okay, these make sense. We're taking 2 mans, but a PrizePicks paying us as if they're 4 mans. And we lost 4 units though, right? Losing 4 units is not a big deal. This is what it looks like when you get a green. This is just a random screenshot from yesterday. Here we took one team on the under, they both greened out. Here we took one team on the over, they both greened out. It's very, very similar stuff, except in this case we got reds, and in this case we got greens. I look at these 2 slips, by the way, guys. I look at these 2 slips, and this is one thing. This might be a huge mentality shift for some of you guys. I look at these 2 slips, this one right here, and this one right here, with GGT and Rain. I look at these 2 slips as the exact same. I look at these 2 slips literally the exact same, because this, I look at this and I go, oh, I see that's perfect correlation, right? 2 guys on the under on the same team, 2 guys on the over on the same team. I look at this and I see perfect correlation. 2 guys on the over on the same team, 2 guys on the over on the same team. The only difference is here we got the direction of correlation correct, right? We picked the unders and they went under, we picked the overs and they went over. Here we got the direction of correlation incorrect. We picked the unders and they went over for both of these, right? But these 2 slips are fundamentally the exact same in my mind. That is the power of correlation. Now, let's zoom out here. We lost 4 units today. And if you just look at one day, you look at this on the picket and you go, oh my God, this guy sucks. He's only losing. But if you just zoom out, even just the last week, we made 27 units last week. And there were ups and there were downs. But guys, this strategy wins in the long run. 27 units is insane. That's what we did in one singular week, by the way. Now, I've been talking about this for a while, but I love recapping on the losing days. Those of you guys who sat through this entire recap, by the way, or are still watching this video or still listening to this video, hopefully you guys learned something from that. Hopefully you guys understand that it's not just, you know, making picks and hoping. There's a lot of mentality that goes into it too. Now let's hop into our first 2-man of the day. We're gonna go for 2 2-mans, and we're starting it off in the Counterstrike tab right here, and we're taking my man Grix on the over at 30.5. This guy's having an amazing land. He's actually a rookie, or a land rookie. You guys don't even worry about that. But the point is, he's having a very, very good game, and I like him on the over here simply because he's playing out of his mind. Number 1. Number 2, I think this is going to be a very, very close game. If we go to Thunderpick and check the odds, right? And this is going to be Big going up against B8. Right here, you can see the odds for Big and B8. B8 are minus 143 to win. Big are plus 102 to win. What does that tell me? That tells me this is very, very close. This is probably like a 52% chance, 48% chance to win. It is a complete coin toss. What does this mean? This probably means it's not going to be a blowout. Right? There's not going to be one team winning 13-5 or 13-6. It'll probably be closer to 13-10, 13-11, maybe even 12-12, and then it pushes into overtime when we get bonus rounds. Why does this matter? Well, in Counter-Strike, if the game goes on for longer, if the game is a closer game, everybody will go on the over. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose. It matters a little bit. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose, because if it's a close game, that is, because everybody's going to get more rounds in. So I like Grix here on the over. That's going to be play number 1. Now for play number 2, we're going over to Alyssa Thomas on the under at 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This one is a very, very good prop. On the season, only been 11 games so far, but the under has been hit at a more profitable rate. And if you just look at the last 5, actually in the last 4 games, it's not just she hasn't been hitting it, she hasn't really been coming close. And this is really just a little bit of a slump she's in, and her minutes have been dropping a little bit, kind of inconsistent here. She only got 25 minutes, 34 minutes here. I expect the projected minutes, I would say here, probably be around that 30 range, and I think 32.5 is just a little bit too high. The thing is, these plays are getting bumped down as we speak. I took the under at 32.5 on PrizePicks, and now after I hit record, this now is down to 32. But I would still lock this in right here. I think 32 is just fine. Even 31.5 is fine. But let's talk about this as a 2-man real quick, because I was about to lock this in as a 2-man on PrizePicks, right? But if we take these 2 guys, Grix and Alyssa Thomas, it's going to pay us 3x. Now I want to show you guys something. If you guys stick with me for just 20 seconds, what we can go ahead and do is pull up Underdog Fantasy. Hopefully this lets me in. Pull up Underdog Fantasy, And we can go ahead and take the exact same two props. We're going to take Alyssa Thomas under on PRA. Here's at 31.5, but it's very, very similar. And then we're taking Grix here on the over. Grix here on the over at 30.5. It's the exact same slip, guys. And here, Thomas and Grix, look at it on Underdog. It's going to pay me, if I put in $100, $350. But if I put it in on PrizePicks, it's going to pay me $300. What's the difference here? Underdog is paying 3.5x for 2 mans. PrizePicks is paying 3x for 2 mans. One app is literally going here, we'll pay you more. The other app is saying, nah, we want all the profits in the world. We're not going to pay you at all. So it's literally super clear which app you should play this on. If you are still playing this on PrizePicks, you literally, I don't know what to say to you, man. I don't know what to say. It's simple, easy, basic math. When you buy your gas, you don't buy it for $20 more just because you're used to the gas station. Like, that makes no sense, bro. You go and get your gas where it's cheapest. Here, if you're making picks, you go and place your picks where they're going to pay you the most. It's that easy, guys. Now, if you guys are not on Underdog Fantasy yet, first of all, what are you doing, man? Hop on. If you guys use code BAM when you sign up and you play your first $5, you're going to get $50. So instantly $50 in your account. All you need is $5 to literally start. Well, I think 10 is the minimum deposit. All you need is $10 to start. Once you play your first $5, you get $50. Here, for any of these yellow states, you're good to go. So lock in. Once you use code BAM, by the way, you're going to get this promo. And this is what happened, man. This is what happened around 4 months ago now. Underdog Fantasy changed the game. The entire game of sports betting. 3x is no longer a thing for 2 mans. It's now 3.5x. 6x is no longer a thing for 3 mans. It's now 6.5x. I've done the math. 3x or this change is actually slightly better than this change, but they're both very, very good. On PrizePicks, they're still using these old payout systems. This is ridiculous, man. Better payouts forever. It's not changing. It's not like the $50 that you're going to get on when you just start. Yeah, this is good probably for your first week or two. This will never leave you. This will always be there. And it is ridiculously profitable. So lock this in on Underdog Fantasy. I showed you guys right here, Grix and Alyssa Thomas. This is paying you out 300 into 350. Whereas on PrizePicks, or no, whoops, that would be a really stupid pay. 100 into 350. Whereas on PrizePicks, $100 is paying you 300. That is 50 extra dollars for literally no extra work. So lock this in on Underdog Fantasy. If you're not on Underdog yet, use code BAM. And if you got any friends of Sportsbet, bro, let them know. Put them on game. A lot of you guys are still taking 2 mans on PrizePicks. Don't do it. Take them on Underdog Fantasy. You get paid more. Now, let's get into play number 2. Right over. Also, if you sign up on Underdog Fantasy and you drop in the comments to say, yo, I signed up for Underdog or whatever, using my code BAM, I can get you on 30 days of free VIP. So you get free VIP, you get better payouts forever, you get $50 for free, and you get to lock in these picks. There's no reason not to do it. Lock in. That link is in the description of this video. Now, let's talk about the NBA picks, or the NHL picks, excuse me. We're not going to mess around and click these through on PrizePicks. We're just going to go straight to Underdog Fantasy. First up, Jack Eichel on the under at 2.5 shots on goal. I like this one quite a bit. Eichel here, actually in the season, has been hitting the over more than the under. But if you just look at this particular matchup, he's hit the under in these 2 games against Colorado, right? And then since the Stanley Cup Final started, he hit the over 1 time in that super, super high scoring game here. And the clutch thing that happened here, the big difference was that this was the game that Vegas was actually playing from behind. The Carolina got up to an early 1-0 lead within like 30 seconds, and then a 2-0 lead within the first period. And Vegas was playing from behind, so he got a lot of shots on goal. In this game, Vegas was playing from ahead, even though Carolina came back and won it. In this game, Vegas was playing from ahead for like a while. Carolina came back, double overtime. He still went on the under in double overtime because it's super clear. When Vegas is playing from ahead, he is going to not take as many shots, right? It's obvious. When Vegas is playing from behind, he's going to take quite a bit of shots. I don't think Vegas will be playing much from behind in this game. Vegas in this one, I mean, if you just look at it, right? The way that they play hockey is not the same as Carolina. Carolina's going to take a lot more shots, and Vegas is going to have a lot better shots. I don't think Eichel's going to get 3+ shots on goal here unless it pushes into an extra overtime or an extra double overtime, or if the Carolina Hurricanes get out to an early lead, which they haven't really done so much this series, except for that first game, which was an absolute anomaly. So I think Jack Eichel here is pretty good for the under at 2.5 shots on goal, and we're going to lock that into our underdog slip right here. Eichel under 2.5 shots on goal. Now, play number 2. We're going over Jackson Blake on the opposite end. And we're taking him for 1+ points, so over 0.5 points. This series, he's only hit it in that most recent game. But if you just look at his time on ice, guys, it increased a ridiculous amount. I know there was a double overtime in this series, but still, it was a really high amount, even with that overtime being accounted for. In game number 1 and game number 2, he went for 15 and 17 minutes. Here he got 24.2 minutes. It was a huge increase. I expect those minutes to continue in this one. I think Jackson Blake is a very impactful player for this Carolina roster. And I'm just looking at when he gets 20 plus minutes per game, right? Let's see if I can zoom this through. Only played this one, in 9 games, but he's hit it in the last 6 games, right? And if you just look at when he's getting around 17 or 18 minutes, he's around that 50% range, and in the head-to-head is very, very green too. So I like this one a ton for Jackson Blake. Take it for 1 point, and I'm realizing now this video has been longer than most of my videos, but hopefully you guys are still here, still watching the stuff. One more time, if you like this in on Underdog, you're getting 100 and 350. And if you guys lock this in, let me just to reiterate my point, if you guys lock this in over on PrizePicks, I go under, Blake over, 100 pays you 300. It's a huge deal, guys. It is an absolutely massive deal. Even if it's only $10 into 335 versus 10 into 30, even if it's only that, even if it's only $1 into $3.50 versus $1 into $3, it doesn't have to be 100 into 300 versus 100 into 350. It still matters. So lock this in on Underdog Fantasy. These are my 2 NHL picks for the day. And I appreciate you guys watching the video. Let's make some money on the NHL, Esports, and WNBA on Tuesday. Let's get it, guys.